Welcome to a very special episode of the Daily Double podcast. We've talked about the lore that is Jen Reichel DiDonato, our cousin. You've seen Do now 2 times on the podcast, between the fantasy draft and then a pick 5 preview. And this here is my cousin's wife, Jen. Jen, I have a lot of ground to cover here, but as it starts, how long have you and Do been together? How many years?
Well, you're gonna ask me that?
Yeah, yeah. Let's because we got to get to
15. We've been together for 15 years.
Okay, 15 beautiful years. Do and Jen.
Most of them are beautiful.
Do and Jen have 2 awesome kids. And when you first met us, this is where I wanted to start the pod. When you first met us, did you have any insight into the horse racing game?
So, no, when I was a gambler, I loved to play Texas Hold'em. I loved to gamble. I used to do it down when I was at law school with like some of the Navy guys down there in Norfolk. But I had no idea about horse racing, except I went to Delaware Park once on just a whim and we bet on like the names or something, $2 to win. So it wasn't until I met Derek that I actually learned what horse racing was, how to do it. I went to the OTB and we learned all the different racetracks and all the different vertical and horizontal bets. It wasn't until then.
Okay, so hold on, wait a minute. I didn't know that. You went to Delaware Park before you even were introduced to our family?
Just once. It was actually on a date too, but don't
Whoa,
you dare.
whoa, spicy. Okay. I like it. That's cool. I did not know that. That's awesome. So when you first met our gang and you found out that horse racing sort of meant so much to us and our family, did you feel any sort of pressure to like, okay, I'm competitive, I like to gamble, and I like to, anyway, like I kind of have to take to this? Or were you more or less like, if I like it, I like it. If not, it is what it is. Like, I'm just going to give it a fair shot.
Well, you know what's kind of nice? We were down in Richmond, right, when I met him. So I hadn't really met any of you guys yet. But he would go to the OTB on the weekends. So I was like, well, let's go. So I fell in love with the game of horse racing without having any of that pressure. It was just Derek and I going to, I hope it's still open. I don't even know now, but the OTB in Richmond, just we go out, we go lay out on the beach in Belle Isle, then we go to the OTB from like 2 to 6, and then hopefully we would hit something and go get dinner. Otherwise, we'd be like, going to the store shopping for little groceries and cooking them up. But so I love to gamble just naturally, and it was just this fun game because, like Texas Hold'em, at this the track takes a cut. But then you're playing against other people. It's not a game where you're slated to lose. And I just thought I was better at everybody else at horse racing. So I was like, we can do this.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that kind of like transitions nicely into when I first met you, it wasn't necessarily the very first time, but one of the first few times was at Delaware Park. And I remember being there, and you've been together 15 years, so that puts me, around a teenage years when I first met you. And I remember you coming out of the gate making big bets, like $50 here and there. And I remember being like, damn, Jen really is going for it. Like, this is awesome. But then Du was just like, yeah, no, she's tough. She doesn't. She sends it. She sends it. Yeah. So I thought that was cool right away. And I remember I have a very fond memory of you and I each betting $100 to win in the Belmont Stakes, maybe 2018. The horse's name's escaping me. It's one of my favorite horses of all time, but I forget. But you and I each had $100, and I remember running around and screaming and celebrating at Delaware, which was fun. We had some good days. I remember finding out that you were pregnant with Joey there, which was so cool. So we've had some cool, memorable moments at Delaware Park and the racing specifically, and that just fun.
Now, Delaware's a great track. Honestly, it's such a family-friendly track, too.
Yeah.
Like, you go in, they have the slide set up, and this was before we even had kids. But then you have your little nice area right by the paddock. You could go over, look at the paddock, go over to the rail,
True.
Watch the race. It was great. You would always bring a motley crew of, like, your other friends, too.
Yeah.
So always got to meet a lot of other people and hang out. But those were great times. It was where you rose to number 1 in my DiDonato ranking.
The DiDonato power
of all the cousins.
Let's go. So we have a giant fam. And Jen came in and had to, we're currently at the tail end of a family reunion right now, which takes place in Ocean City, New Jersey. We have 100+ family here. And so Jen came into a crazy group. I know your family, you have a lot of family on the other side too. ish, right? I mean,
A little bit. They're all a little crazy too. I love them on that
that's
side, but
right.
it's
So
much
you
smaller.
fair, that's fair. But like yeah, exactly. So you fit right in, which was awesome, and then the track vibes were cool right away. Jen came with us on our annual trip to Saratoga too. What was your first impressions of the Saratoga trip? Because the DiDonato gang, which the DiDonato, this generation, my cousin and I, and our cousins across, there's a lot of boys. So the DiDonato crew has brought many a girlfriend on the Saratoga trip, and a lot of them have only been there once. What was your first interpretation of being there at Saratoga with everybody and seeing the track too?
So the track was incredible. But my first experience at Saratoga, we all go camping.
Yep.
So we set up the tent. We're over there. We're all on the same site. Paul's over right across the way. We're here. Chris comes and kind of gets under our tarp. It pours. My first time camping ever, and it pours. So much so that there's literally like a river between our tents and Paul's tent. And all in the middle of the night, we're waking up like, what the heck is going on? Chris is out there. He can't hear anything. We go, Paul, go, whoa! As his tent starts to get taken away by the river. So my first experience.
That was year one?
I don't know why I went back. Really, guys. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But then after that morning, we dried off, sort of. We went to the track. And to walk into Saratoga with all the mature trees, with the red and white pavilions, with the TVs everywhere, the paddock, which is just gorgeous with all the flowers, fell in love with Saratoga. So if I didn't like the horses as much as I did, I probably would have never gone back.
Yeah.
But it was just such a magical experience. It's something I look forward to every single year.
I completely agree. I'm with you. And we talk about like our Saratoga team being a close-knit group, and you'll notice because you've been a handful of years, our group doesn't really change all that much because there's some bad weather sometimes. We are camping. We're not glamping. You know what I mean? We're intense. But you have been one of the best additions outside of like our normal people that we're related to. Probably the best Saratoga addition, I would say. Would you think so?
Well, I mean, I've also been the big winner at Saratoga the last few years, so I've been buying dinner for everybody. So
you are.
I mean,
yes, I will say the one thing about Jen. When Jen wins, everyone wins, and that is great. Last year she was the winner. She took us out. Ooh, last year's dinner was good. 2 years ago, remember when we got the schnitzel?
The European place in downtown Saratoga. That was great.
That was great. I haven't had schnitzel since, but I loved it.
We had just gotten back from Germany, too, when we went there. And I was like, come on, let's go.
That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
The schnitzel was 2 years ago. Last year was... Did we just go to Hibachi?
We did go to the Hibachi, but that wasn't... We went to like a pizza joint or something like that.
That's
just
right.
Something big
You're right.
That
You're right. That everyone could involve in. Yes, yeah. You're right. That's awesome. Yeah. The Saratoga trip's a ton of fun. It's one that my dad and I have referenced a few times where we're there in the middle of August. We're going to go this year. We'll be there the weekend of August. It's like 16, 17, 15.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so we'll be there. It's going to be a ton of fun this year. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that the weather is solid and we have a big winner. If we have a big winner, will you take rain?
Oh, rain all day.
Okay.
Especially if it's like Carmouche or like Katie Davis wins me that. We get to go over celebrate. I'll take rain.
I loved the moment, and we can actually throw the picture on the screen here. We'll toss it up. When I think it was 3 Saratogas ago, could have been 2. You had Katie Davis in a sequence. Did you bet a daily double or did you, no?
No, it was just that single race.
Yes, and she won on like a 7 or 8 to 1 shot.
Yeah,
it was the number 7, and we met Katie Davis in the walkway afterwards at Saratoga, got our picture with her, and I remember you telling her about your ticket and her being like, holy shit, you know what I mean? That was cool.
She was fired up. It was so exciting. She was so excited. Although I do think she told me, she's like, make sure you leave with some of that money. I think I bet it all the next time. But I won, Katie. I won.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I remember us walking away. It's so funny you say that. I remember walking away from that interaction and my dad being like so like annoyed. Like, what is she talking about? Like, of course she's gonna try and bet it. We're at Saratoga. Yeah, it was great.
Keep going.
So we're fighters over here, I guess. But so why you are on the podcast specifically? I'd like to have you on multiple times because now you're a part owner of a horse, which is fantastic.
Very small part, but yes.
Yeah, a part's a part. So am I. I mean, I have a percentage, and so, you know what I mean? Cool. A horse that's been doing well, which we'll get to in a little bit. And you're going to be a part of our group as this podcast hopefully grows a little, and then as the team grows and more to come. So I'd like for you to come on a few times. But a handful of years ago, we haven't told my story yet, but a handful of years ago,
You might want to tell yours first, because mine are a little bit better.
yours are better.
Kind of build up.
Yours, yeah, yours is better. Mine, yeah, no, you're probably freaking right. So my story, I won't tell the whole thing because it'll take too long. But I hit for $20,000 in one time in November of 2014, and then in January of 2015. So I had two $20,000 scores in about a 3-month window. And I remember leaving thinking, like, oh my God, I just set the record for the biggest DiDonato hit of all time. Like, this is never going to get touched. And what is cool about what you said about how it's never really us against us at the racetrack, I remember somebody being like, oh, like Jen had this big hit, you no longer hold the record. And I remember being like, that's great. That's awesome. We're all like winning. This is great. So my cousin Jen had an unbelievable hit. And I wanted to do this as opposed to just diving right into the specifics, if you could. Take me to the time, take me to that morning. What happened that day? Why did you, because it wasn't at the racetrack, you were at home when you made the hit, right? Why did you even play the races that day? What was going on? It was a Sunday, right?
No, it was a Saturday,
Okay.
but it was 2021 in the middle of COVID, right? Like this was the time where everybody's wearing masks. It was even before like I guess the vaccine's starting to come out, but people were afraid to be by one another. So it was just a normal Saturday hanging out with ourselves again, right? I was homeschooling Joey, so we were in the other room kind of like working on some math, but we always had TVG on in the background. Now it's FanDuel, but we always have just the horse racing on in the background. So, we do bet most weekends. Some weekends we'll sit there, watch the whole thing. Some weekends we go to the track, but some weekends it's just on and you just wait until you see a cool race.
Yeah, I like that.
So all day long we were just, right, like hanging out with the kids, trying to make our way through another day of COVID. Yeah. And like my husband's cooking dinner and we're just working on like school, right? Like just a totally normal Saturday afternoon.
Okay. So the race comes on the TV. And are you dialed into the race? Do you have a racing form at the time? Are you looking at race replays, past performances, like, or you know what I mean? Take me to that race specifically.
Yeah, so one of the things you'll find about me, I'm more of, I do read the form a little bit, but I'm much more of a looks player.
Yeah.
So I like to bet on the conformation of a horse, how a horse is feeling, and it helps me get some long shots. So the TV was on. I was in the other room with Joey and we were working on math and I think I had to go get like a pencil or something. So I walked to the other room and I look up at the races and I see this 11 horse just kind of like prancing around. I was like, man, that horse looks good. Right. But I'm in the middle of doing something else. So I walk back into the other room with Joey. We're working on some more math. I don't know. He probably like broke the pencil again because he didn't want to do the math. And so like I went out to like, sharpen it out again. And I see this 11 horse again, just prancing around. I have no form, no paper. I have no idea how long this race is, but this 11 horse looks so good. And I keep seeing him and he's not the favorite. Okay. He's like 17-1.
Okay.
And every time I walk back into that room, I'm just seeing him prance along.
Every time you go back, it just seems to be that the camera's panning on this freaking 11.
Right there. Well, and it was at Santa Anita, and TVG love to give a good look at Santa Anita.
They do a great job.
So it just happened. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to start looking at these horses.
Okay, let me pause you.
Yeah.
How many minutes to post when you sit down and go, you know what? I'm going to play this race. I'm going to take a peek.
I think there are about 4 minutes to post.
That's wild. That's wild. I never knew that, actually. Okay, keep going. So you sit down.
So it's 4 minutes to post. And I'm like, you know what? I like this 11. I'm going to bet this 11 to win in place.
Okay.
Right. And I start seeing some other, I can't even remember what the horse was the favorite, but he walks by and man, if that horse didn't look like he would barely finish the race. Like he was all sweat out. His coat was dull. He looked like his front hoof was like not feeling it. Right.
Yeah.
So that's when I'm like, all right, now not only am I playing this 11, I want to play a little something else. I want to go up and down, right? The verticals. I want to get some exactas, some trifectas and superfectas. But I only got like 3 minutes to post. So I got to find some other horses, right?
Yeah.
So we're walking there. Oh, God.
Yeah. Are you then scanning and looking to see who else looks good as they walk and or make their way to the gate? Or are you then diving into the app on your phone to see maybe like a TVG's picks or what are you checking in? Because the information on the phone, there's not a ton of it.
No.
And there is a decent amount if you can get to it and have time to watch some past performances. You know what I mean? So what are you doing as soon as you have this moment of, I got to check this out? You know what I mean? What happens next?
Yeah, so at that point, I don't really have time to look into any of the other stuff. I'm desperately, so I go on my phone to watch it too, because there's like a little tape delay
Ooh,
between the two, and they'll
true.
switch back and forth. So I'm watching it on there, trying to see any horse, like in the background, not even the horse in the foreground, like seeing if there's anybody uh, trotting along in the back. I'm looking on my phone, not at any past performances or any information, just at the horses on the feed that you can get from the app.
Yeah.
And so I started taking a look again. I knew I threw the favorite out, didn't like them. And I start seeing some other horses. At this point, I have no idea what their odds are.
Yeah.
But my horse is 17 to 1. This 11 is 17 to 1. So anything that runs around it, especially if the favorite's out, I'm going to get paid.
It's good.
Yeah. So I'm looking at all this. So I find a bunch of other horses. I box a 10-cent super with 6 horses. It's a $36 bet.
Yep. 10-cent superfecta. Top
Yes.
4 finishers. Great bet and a great value for that many horses in that type of bet.
When you like the long shots,
Yeah.
it's a great value. Then, of course, my little 11 horse starts prancing along again. And I was like, you know what? This horse is going to win or something, right? So I go back to my super and I bet him with the 11 and on first and second with all those other 5 horses.
Gotcha.
So I bet 2 more 10 centers because I went back, I bet him first and second with all the horses. Then I bet him first, second, and third again because why not?
Of course.
Right?
Especially if he runs good. It's like, that's how you get it.
That's how I get it.
Yeah, keep going.
If this comes out, I'm going to get paid. Then I was like, you know what? I don't want to get beat for 4th. Let me go through with the trifecta. So I take that horse, I put the 11 first and second again with those other horses. Just in case I get beat for 4th, I'll hit the trifecta. Because again, I'm going to get paid on this. And then I saw all 11 prancing around again. I was like, all right, I'm going to bet the $2 exacta key box with the 11 with all those other horses as well.
Okay. So before the race goes off, you have a few exacta wagers, a few trifecta wagers, and a few superfecta wagers. Any win bet on the 11 by himself?
I had $20 to win and place on the 11. That was the first bet I made.
First bet you made. Okay, so talk to me about, if you could, it doesn't have to be exact, how much are you all into, how much you wager on this race specifically between those 4 bets?
I think it was somewhere around like $190 or something. And I specifically remember Derek, who's cooking, he goes, what are you doing over there? And I was like, dude, I'm either going to be rich or I'm not going to be able to bet for like all weekend long. And he, of course, just shakes it off because I probably say that like,
right,
I don't know, 5 times a month.
Right.
But I did say that because, I was betting then, but I would bet about $100 a race. And I doubled that up for that race.
Yeah, you felt good about that.
I did. And to be fair, I was cold the rest of January. I couldn't hit anything.
Gotcha.
So I just been losing every weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. 17 to 1. I'm either going to win it all here or maybe it's time to take a little break for a few weeks.
Sure.
Let some other races open up.
So talk to me, if you could, any information that you have on the 11 specifically. If you don't have anything, it's no problem, and we can go back and I'd love to go look it up. Do you know what the horse's name was? Who was riding the horse? Do you have any intel on the 11?
I did. So I went back and looked because in the moment, again, I had no idea what his name was.
Yeah.
But you have to go back, and his name was Funkenstein.
Nice.
That's a great name,
That's
right?
awesome. Okay.
And
Who was riding Funk that day?
Jose Valdivia.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't familiar with. You're familiar with the favorites there, like Tiago Pereira, but I didn't know who Jose Valdivia was. But he's a good friend of mine now.
Yeah. Jose with the assist.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, cool. So the horses are going into the gate now, and you're sitting after making the wager. Did you ever bring Joey his new pen, his new pencil? No,
Joey's
you were like
over there struggling with his math.
He's like, Mom, what the hell's going on?
Again, I'd either have to make it up to him or, I could make it up another way, right?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so at that point, do you call Dew over and say, come watch this race, like we have something going, or is he still focused on the kitchen and you're just watching the race? You know what I mean? When did it become like an actual thing?
No, so I'm just watching the race on my own because he kind of blew off my comment about, right?
Right. He's cooking.
Cooking.
He's sidetracked.
And I do like to eat, so I was like, all right, you stay in there.
Okay.
So, because you don't know what's going to happen, right? Again, I say that 5 times a month. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm not.
Yep, it's fair.
So I'm like, let's see how this goes. Right, so they go into the gate, and I'm looking for a good start.
Mm-hmm. Is it on the turf or the dirt?
I don't know. No, it was in the dirt.
Okay, sick. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So we're looking for the race, looking for a great start. The gates open up, the 11 breaks. I'm
Beautiful.
Like, all right, come on. Right? Like, he's over there. I'm not really paying attention to the others because really I'm just focused on this 11. So he's going around. He's about third, fourth, right? Like in a nice little stalking position.
Okay, so he's forwardly placed.
Forwardly
Sick.
placed, right? He's clear on the outside. There's a few horses in front of him, but the 11's got game.
Yeah.
Right? The 11 looks like he could make a run. So they're coming up for the term. He starts to move a little. Not too much. I don't like him when they move him early.
Good point.
But he moves him a little bit, like keeping him in place. I'm like, all right, come on. This 11's alive today.
Definitely.
Let's go. So they start to go, and they start to make the final turn. And now the 11 starts making a move. Pretty big move, too. So I'm like, come on, 11. Let's go. Come on, 11. Right? He starts blowing by the two horses in front of him. The 11 starts going by. I'm like,
so does he take the lead some point in time during the stretch? Okay.
Right around the turn, he starts taking the lead. I'm like, come on, 11. Come on. Then I see somebody else coming out of the blue, an 8. And for a second, I start to freak out. I'm like, well, who's the 8? Do I have the 8? I look down at my ticket. I'm like, I got the 8.
Oh
of course I got the 8. And I'm like, come on, 11. Come on. But I didn't know the odds of the 8, right? I'm just shooting.
Interesting. So you're just rooting for the 11, and then you have the 8. You don't necessarily know the odds, and you're just like, okay, I just want to hit this.
I just want to hit this.
Yeah,
and I'm going to hit it, right? Like, so the 11 starts coming. I'm like, come on, 11. The 8 starts coming up.
What's Stu doing at this time? He's in the kitchen still? Is he freaking out now? Is he coming over?
Well, he was like, he's starting to like pay a little bit of attention now.
He's not tasting the broth.
No, he's not tasting the broth. He's like he's like, what's going on over there?
Okay.
Right?
Okay, he's interested.
Sway in. I'm like, come on, 11. Come on. I start screaming.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's going on? I see the 8 come, and I look behind the 11. So I got the 8, the 11, and there's a little bit of space.
Yeah.
And there's like 5 horses there. I got them all.
All of them?
Well, I guess I had 4 of the 5.
Fair
right?
enough.
But they were all right there. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit this.
Yeah, you can't lose on this.
Oh, man. Josh, I'm like, I'm hitting this.
But at this point, do you know that the 11's not going to beat the 8? And you're okay with it? Or is it still close?
It's still contentious, right?
Okay.
And again, I don't know the odds on the 8. So I want the 11 to win.
You want the 11 to win.
And I got that $20 win in place bet. So,
yeah.
right, like I'm thinking, all right, I'd like to hit that. So I'm like, come on, 11. Come on. I see the 8 go by him a little bit, but that's okay now because now I'm like, all right, forget my win place or my win bet. I'll
now
get
we
the
need
place.
him. Yes.
Like, so I just start screaming. I'm like, come on, 11. Come on, 11. Come on. The 8 wins. The 11 goes right behind him, gets second.
Okay.
The 12 comes up, gets third. The 14 gets fourth. I drop to the floor.
Did you know right away you had those other 2 numbers?
I knew I had everything. I dropped.
God, it's all the outside numbers. I didn't even know the number sequence.
All of the outside.
Uncle Lou would be so happy with you. He loves to bet the outside.
He loves to bet the and the nights out of it, the favorites out.
Okay, even better.
I drop to the floor and I'm like, okay. And now Derek, now
he's interested. Yeah, now he's invested.
He's like, what's going on? Do you have this? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he looks up. All of a sudden, the finish comes up, and they put the odds right next to it.
Yeah.
The 8's 99 to 1.
Holy shit!
So I got 99 to 1, 17 to 1, 9 to 2, 12 to 1.
Oh my God!
I'm on the floor now. I start hyperventilating. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting paid. I'm like. Derek sees the odds and he's like, check your tickets. Right?
Yeah, right. True. That's true. That's happened before.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I can't move.
It's a good call.
I can't. And my phone needs my fingerprint. And he's like, come on, fingerprint. And my finger's all shaky. I can't do anything about it. I'm like, so finally he starts going crazy. He starts calling Paul. He starts calling everybody else. I make it over to my phone and, try like 5 times. I get it to come up and I'm like, I got it. And he's like, what do you have? And I go, I got it all.
You have everything. You have everything. Oh, wait a minute. Did you have the exacta with 11-8 as well?
Yeah,
okay, I guess you took him with the 5 horses.
He was like, do you have the exacta? I was like, I got the exacta. He goes, do you have the trifecta? I was like, I got the trifecta. And he goes, do you have the superfecta? I was like, I got the superfecta. And he goes, you got the superfecta? I had it 3 times.
Holy shit. So hold on. You had 3 10-cent superfectas. So you had 30 cents worth of the super.
Yes.
Holy bananas. Okay, so you're sitting there now. Are either you or Do anticipating any numbers at that point in time from a payout perspective? Or are you both just sitting like Like you've just hit a jackpot, you know what I mean, playing a casino game, and you're like, let's just see how high this goes. You know what I mean? Did you have a number in mind?
I was thinking maybe I'm hitting like for 33,000 or something like
Okay.
that. So I start pacing around the room, right?
Yeah,
Like I'm
right.
like, I have
I
all
can't
this
blame you.
adrenaline. I can't, like, I gotta get it out. And especially, we're in the middle of COVID. Nothing fun is happening.
Yeah.
And this happens. So I'm running around pacing, and he's on the phone. I can hear him talking to Paul over there, like, oh my God, what do you think? What do you think we're getting? Right? So I thought maybe I was getting like 30,000, 33,000. So I'm getting jazzed up.
Yeah, that would be freaking unbelievable.
Right? So all of a sudden they start to reveal the prices. And I'm doing this. Like I'm doing it now. I'm starting to feel it.
Yeah, you keep coming back to that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm there. I feel like I'm sitting there with you, and I'm just like, oh my God.
So I'm like, all right, all of a sudden they say the $2 exacta, 32.66. And now, so 3,266 for the $2 exacta.
Okay. Oh boy, oh boy.
I know.
God.
And now I'm like, I'm getting paid.
Yeah, this is big. Okay.
So now I'm thinking maybe I can get 60,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at the 50-cent try.
Mm-hmm. Which you just have 50. You just have 50 cents.
Just 50 cents.
Okay.
31,000. I know.
Oh my God.
And that's right. And then I got a 12-to-1 shot coming in fourth. Like I'm gonna get paid for the superfecta.
Yeah.
The superfecta comes out for 10 cents, 29,000. I got it 3 times.
Hold on. Okay. 29,000 3 times was the superfecta.
Yeah.
30,000 and change for the try. So it's kind of like $30,000 tickets. Four. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then the exacta.
And then my $20 first place.
You can't
Don't
forget
that.
that. That's not
That's
nothing.
Not 50.
Not when a 99-to-1 shot wins. It's still not nothing.
Yeah.
So talk to me. What was the final number that plopped in? Did you, please to God, tell me you did. Did you take a screenshot at any point in time in your TVG account? Did they put that money in your account?
Yeah, it goes in.
Right.
So he's like looking at me and he's like, go check the account.
Yeah,
right?
hello. Yeah.
And I'm still like, so like in La La Land about this whole thing. So I go over. So the final, I'm like adding it all up. I'm like 120 something. It was 123,000. I look in my account. I'm like, there's only 92. They took out the taxes.
Immediately.
Didn't
even know they did that on TVG app or on wherever you are.
Me neither. But it was probably for the better. But I see the 92,000. And at first I'm like, what's going on here? And then I realized they took out the taxes, but it was $123,000 is what I won in that one race off of just under $200. It was insane though. I started calling people. I was pacing around the house. I called Chris. He's in the middle of work, right at the ER. And he was like, what's going on? I was like, Chris, you'll never believe it. I tell him the story. He's like, Jen, that's incredible. Right? Like everybody you call in the family, they're all so excited. I'm still running around. I'm still hyperventilating a bit. I can't calm myself down. Right? It was just incredible. And then I finally calmed down. It's like 2 races later. I'm sitting on the phone. I'm talking to my sister. I see a few little horses be prancing around again.
These horses are prancing. Oh, dear God.
And at this point, I got $92,000 in my account.
Yeah.
So I made a few.
Dude's looking at you on that phone so stressed out. Like, she's about to unload. She's going to unload.
But I think
withdrawal.
I bet like $70 I hit for 2,000.
Oh my God. It was just your freaking day. Do you have a screenshot or anything showing the 92K in the account at one point? Or could we go back and
go get
screenshot the individual bets to try?
You can see the like 92,000 go in.
Sick.
And then,
I'd love to throw it on there. It would just be so freaking cool. But it's an unbelievable day. I don't think it's a day that will be topped by dollar amount.
It could. Some of those pick 5s pay a lot, Josh. We need pick 5 to move up from 2,700 though to.
We do to 270,000. Yeah.
But the rest of that month too, I was just like, as a horse player, you go through spurts where you're cold, and spurts where you're on fire, and definitely. I literally just. Again, I have a little bit of money, money in my account now. I was hitting the next weekend. I hit for 12,000. Then, like later on that week, I hit for 3,000. Of course, I'm playing like every horse race that's coming out,
right? Because
I am on a roll. But anything that month that I threw money at,
it was gold.
I was hitting, right? At least for a couple hundred, if not thousands. It was insane. At that whole month, I hit for 165,000.
Well, It's unfreaking. That's crazy.
It's
Okay.
crazy.
Follow-up question.
Yes.
When I had my score,
Yes.
I was just so hyped that I bought a brand new TV for the house, and I bought my mom like a $600 iPad. Like before I think I got home, it was like the next day. Did you have any nice big purchase? Not big, but any fun purchases directly after? Like we're gonna send it on a trip or anything like that?
Well, so it was a little hard because it was
Oh, it's
COVID.
COVID. Yeah, it's true.
So everybody was calling. They're like, "Oh my God, I want to go out tonight. Like, we got to
Yeah,
celebrate,
yeah.
right?
Let's risk it.
But we couldn't go out. So
Yeah.
the one lame thing I did, I paid off my private student loans. So I just paid
That's
that right off.
awesome.
Then we went out back and got a patio and a hot tub.
Oh, sick. That's sick. I think I do remember you guys doing the hot tub.
Actually, silly thing, we also went down, we ended up driving down to Florida to that other house during COVID, and my son's birthday was just like a week or so after. And it was one of those stupid things that you buy, but I decided I was going to get him some gigantic, like really nice Mario Brother cake for his birthday, and I dropped like $400. It was so
Yeah,
stupid.
you were on top of the world. That's awesome, though.
We felt like a Peloton.
He was probably so hyped. He was just like, "This is crazy."
It was a nice
The
cake.
cake the next year too. He's just like, "Where the hell's the cake the size of the table?"
He's like, "You're making one this time? Or that's from Costco? What the heck, Mom?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's a slow year, Joe."
Yeah. That's awesome. That's
But
so
it was
cool.
fun. It was, and you know, the best part, I mean, that was an extreme thing. But
Yeah.
so maybe the 120,000, that was a bigger response. But I'll tell you, I still get hyped up over a $500 hit or a $1,000 hit, right? Like all those big hits. And sometimes if you haven't hit anything, if I'm winning like $70, I'm like, this is go time. All right, let's go, Jen.
Yeah.
That's why I love horse racing. Like, you know?
I completely agree. And it's nice because certain people that play in the game are betting different dollar amounts. They feel comfortable wagering different amounts. And they'll get just as hyped up, like you said, about a $70 hit, a $300 hit, a $3,000 hit. It's fun. It's fun, this game, because everyone can win. And you're, like we said, we're not necessarily playing against each other when we're at the track. We're rooting for each other. I feel like our crew is great. If somebody hits, we all hit. You have been great. Our cousin Chris was a trailblazer for a few years too, where we always knew when he got that look in his eye. My cousin Chris always had a little bit of a dip in his lip, and he had a beer a race. And by like race 6 or 7, when he was just like, "I don't feel like cooking tonight," he'd get this crazy look in his eye, and everyone knew he bet $1,000 on somebody, and he'd give you that look like, "If this horse wins, we're going out to dinner.
We're going to Zeros."
Yeah, we're going to Zeros. And then I just remember it didn't happen every year, but it happened more years than it didn't.
Yeah.
He would come up and he'd tell somebody in the group. He told me a few times. He'd say, "Make the reservation," and that's just when you knew he was like locked in and he had hit something for everybody. So it's just a story that will go down in the lore of our family's horse racing journey, the story of our group. And I just think that having it here on the podcast and having it be somewhere where like our kids and kids years from now can come back and listen to exactly how it went down is sick.
Yeah,
It's cool. It's cool. Because even me, I heard about the story, I think from Dew, but again, that day he was in a different world. It was telling the story. And then we talked about it more and more, but I didn't even know all the little details. I didn't know 4 minutes to post is crazy.
Yeah.
That's not an exaggeration, right?
No, that's
crazy. I
to
mean,
be
like
fair,
you said,
though, I typically go.
Yeah, you are more instinctual with the way you play and play off of like a feeling, like this is the time to go. Even at Saratoga, when we hang in the back, there'll be certain races where you go, "I'm not really feeling anything," and then there'll be other races where you attack. And I think that's cool too, because you're not somebody, like for instance, like my dad and Dew, I think is more like each race they have some action, they have some skin in the game, and I think I'm a little bit more somewhere between you guys, but finding spots to attack, and then when I don't like anything, letting it go and waiting for like the right moment to refire.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah.
I do think though it's important, right? And because I bet on looks, I will be on, like, sometimes I will miss the paper shot on a horse that looks terrible, but just is a winner and like always looks bad and tries it out. But when I do hit, it's usually on longer shots and I get much better returns on my investment.
Definitely.
So it's fun.
It is freaking fun. Okay, so the story of the 120 plus K is now in the books, but it doesn't end there. We have one final piece of the Jen Reichel DiDonato lore in that she is part owner of a racehorse right now. How many horses have you been in your time? This is the third horse?
No, so this is the 8th horse, and I have
Okay.
2 right now that are doing really good.
Okay.
But you take a shot with this My Racehorse, kind of
Yeah.
you get a small piece of the action. It's good. It's a low investment, but you get it's something fun to do.
Definitely. So
But-
talk to me about the 2 that are active right now.
So 6 of them did nothing. The
Okay.
2 that are active right now, I have 2 horses that are out there on the Del Mar circuit. I have a Day to Remember, which is racing tomorrow, actually. Race 11, Del Mar is the 9th horse. And he just broke his maiden. He's a Mark Glatt horse, an American Pharaoh by Kindle. And he's about 5-1 on the morning line.
Beautiful. So race 9 tomorrow, right?
Race 9 tomorrow.
Okay. We'll be on the lookout. Sweet.
And then the next week, on August 2nd, I have a horse, Seismic Beauty, who just won the Grade 2 Santa Margarita at Santa Anita, and is looking to move into this Grade 1. This will get you into the distaff if you win this Grade 1 Clement Hirsch on August 2nd. So Seismic Beauty is, right, we're targeting that race, looking to put her in. She just had a great work, right,
Beautiful.
really setting her up nicely for that race. And that race, we're going to go out. I'm going to go out and take Joey, and we're going to go see it.
Will this be the first time that you have been live to one of your horses?
It will, right? So we, most of my horses have been running down in Florida or out in California.
Okay.
And again, most of them were not very good, so it didn't warrant a trip out. But this is really cool, right? This horse has been winning. She looks great. She's going to come in a good contender to win this Grade 1 race.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to be right before going into the Breeders' Cup if she does win this.
So cool. Yeah.
So I just decided kind of last minute. I was like, when do you get the opportunity, right? If she wins, I get to go in the winner's circle. And I can enter a lottery to get into the paddock. And I can sit with everybody who's also a part owner of this horse.
So cool.
And it just seems so cool, right?
It is cool.
So last minute, we decided to just get some flights. Let's go out there. Let's see if we can get her home next week.
That's freaking awesome. So next weekend, which will be 2 Saturdays from now, tomorrow is the 26th. So what are we looking at? Is
August
it August?
2nd.
Yeah, August 2nd. The whole family and anyone tuning in be pulling for Seismic Beauty next weekend. It'd be awesome to see a win. Can you imagine having a piece of a horse that runs in a Breeders' Cup race? Wouldn't that be so crazy? That would be wild.
Incredible.
That'd be wild. We're pulling for Seismic Beauty in 2 weekends' time. If you're there over on the West Coast, look for my cousin Jen. She'll be there. Yeah, that's all we have probably here for this one. But it was just so much fun getting to dive into the race, your intro into our family, and then into the game. It's kind of cool that if you hadn't have met my cousin, like you might not have had this hit.
No.
You know what I mean? And then hung with all of us and been influenced in a way where it's like, I like this. This is cool, you know?
Well, because even if I don't think I would have gotten into horse racing, but even if I did, I learned the looks angle. I learned it from you. I learned it from Paul. I learned it from Derek's dad, Lou,
yeah.
who's a great looks player. I learned it from Derek, right? Like it was the whole family who really, I mean, Derek started it, but the whole family taught me horse racing.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a really, really good point. And that's the beauty of our group is people come in and they have a little bit of interest in it. We do the best we can to show them the game, why we love it so much, the beautiful sides, the fun and competitive sides. We just went on a trip for my birthday, and 2 of my close friends, Anthony and Pat, came, and they had such a great time. They loved it. They each ran a show parlay on Saturday. They had so much fun while we were there. They were like, when are you guys going back? And we told them, and they're like, you care if we like drive up on Friday night and stay and then go to the racetrack with you guys like Saturday? I was like, yeah, sure. So they love it. They had a blast. And like, I think that's the part of the game that's my favorite is it kind of brings the people that are in our circle together for those times at the racetrack. So do you have anything that you'd like to add or any closing thoughts? But as we finish your first appearance on the pod, not your last.
No, I just, thanks for having me on. Honestly, I've loved listening to this every week. You guys bring such great knowledge, great handicapping to it, but it's also fun. Like
It's fun.
the No Way Jose segment.
Yeah, they're great.
Genius. I
They're
love
great.
it.
Yeah,
So it's hilarious. So I thank you for having me on. I'm excited to come back. Hopefully it's when I beat my number after we're at Saratoga this summer.
Yes. A
And
Seismic Beauty in the Breeders' Cup would be worth coming back too.
That's
That'd
a
be
good
sick.
one too.
If you could for us, while
Yeah.
you're there in 2 2 weeks' time, if you could take some video footage of you there at Del Mar, maybe if you get to the paddock, take some videos of you in the paddock, because I'd love to put together a little a little reel of you just your day at Del Mar. And what if it ends with you in the winner's circle? Wouldn't that be
That'll
sick?
be the last one.
It'd be
right?
so sick. Yeah, it'd be so sick. So, Daily Double Pod episode, Jen, Reichel, DiDonato, had a blast. You'll see her again, and you'll see us this summer. Thank you.